Yo, Henry with Average Use Slowpitch. Today we're getting a chance to bring out some game-ready models here from Pier. We've got the 12-inch barrel NDM2 and the 13-inch barrel NDM3. Obviously, you can't tell from the video, but these have the tackier barrel, unlike like the Branch, for instance, which has more of the glossy, slick type of barrel. So we'll see how that kind of changes anything as far as if we're noticing more knuckleballs flight, anything like that. But if you're somebody who likes the tackier barrels, know that that's how these are painted and the scheme on them. If you're somebody who really doesn't like the tacky barrels, maybe go look at the Pier Branch or some of the other previous Pier releases. But as of shooting this, December 13th is when we're out here hitting. These are still on sale over at the Pier site. I believe they're only like $239.99. Then in the description of the video, you'll see my buddy Emilio Lovato's code and his link. Those will give you additional discounts at checkout on top of the already sale price. So both of these are 26 ounce, 1 ounce end loads. You have the choice to pick from 25 to 27, balanced, half ounce, full ounce, whatever it is you want. So pick the specs that work best for you. We're gonna go ahead and throw these on the tester. We're expecting between that 260 to 275 mark. But again, game ready tech, so about 20 to 30 52s, no more than probably 50 Pro M's, and then we'll come back with final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's see where our NDM 2 and 3 are testing at before we use them. Again, this is that game ready tech from Pier. So probably what you're used to kind of in the earlier days, really prior to kind of that CE, Lambright, Irvine, and Roof X that dropped this year. We're expecting this to be pretty much right at 250. And like we talked about in the intro, we're gonna limit the swings on these because again, game ready tech, no reason to break them in like we had to with the other ones. And that stupid bubble's my way, so sorry, I'm gonna get my head in your guys' way, make sure this is where it needs to be, and I went too far, so let's do this again. There we go. And look at that, I misspoke. Even with their game ready tech, we're still looking at right at 275. So it'll be nice to see how this feels when we start swinging it. We still won't put many swings on it. I know these aren't meant to really BP. That's why they're in their game ready portion on their website. But NDM 3 wise, 13-inch barrel versus that 2 being a 12-inch, in case you missed that in the intro as well. And that's closer to what we kind of figured. So this is closer to 260. So we got 275, just a hair under with the NDM 2, 260 to 55 with the NDM 3. Either way, we're gonna put about 20, 52 swings on both of them, and then probably another 50 Pro M's just to kind of see how they perform and come back with final compression, final thoughts. All right, as mentioned in the intro, we're swinging the NDM 3 and 2 here on this one. We're gonna start with the NDM 3 and then the NDM 2. What you're gonna see is we're gonna have each guy kind of roll through. We're giving each person 10 cuts with each, basically. So what that's gonna do is that's gonna get us up to 50 swings with each one on this kind of game ready tech. You'll see the best 3, maybe 4 swings from each guy. We'll kind of roll through, and I'll make sure I put a graphic up so you know when the 3's being swung versus the 2, since obviously it'll be hard to tell the white versus the blue on the video. But let's go ahead, roll through with just Pro M's on this one. We're not gonna swing any 52s, and then we'll come back with final compression, final thoughts.
97 miles per hour.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I cleared the bathrooms out there.
Well over the trees. Yeah, I mean, immediately you can tell the difference in the game ready tech. Like, we were getting great performance with Lambright, Irvine, CE, Roof X, but you really had to break it in to get truly like that can't miss forgiveness. And these ones from swing one, you have that feel off the barrel of immediate feedback of where you're catching it with that crazy good performance.
102 miles per hour. 90 miles per hour. 92 miles per hour. 81 miles per hour. 84 miles per hour. 88 miles per hour. 94 miles per hour.
Well, that was pieced.
82 miles per hour. 92 miles per hour. 95 miles per hour.
That was crushed.
That was on the line.
Oh boy.
82 miles per hour.
Well, that's a good piece.
81 miles per hour.
He almost had his first home run on the channel.
87 miles per hour.
I mean, you are hitting it well.
102 miles per hour.
That was 100% the sweet spot, and that felt amazing. This is a fun one.
98 miles per hour.
Oh man, it's just the ball, the speed's the speed, whatever, got it, but the ball flies off these barrels, just keeps on carrying.
108 miles per hour.
Let's move on over to the NDM2. I know we heard from everybody, everyone's preference has been the 2, but I feel like that's gonna be pretty hard to beat right there.
102 miles per hour.
Okay, nice, good.
104 miles per hour.
Oh
88
shit.
miles per hour.
You okay, Wagon?
86 miles per hour. 87 miles per hour.
Ooh, that's pieced. All right, you swung both of them. Of the 2, which of the 2 do you like better? Or really no difference in your mind?
The 12-inch.
12-inch, the NDM2?
Yes.
Just the pop, the feel, what about it?
Just the feel of it. Seem to swing, get it around a little quicker.
Cool.
92 miles per hour.
Well, that's a good start.
96 miles per hour.
That's a shot.
97 miles per hour.
97 knuckler, dude. Which of the 2 do you like better and why?
Same thing. I can control the 12-inch better.
Yeah, I think the 12-inch had from here at least a more of a crack sound, even on the off the barrel, and I think I gave you a little better forgiveness, but yeah, cool.
88 miles per hour. 90 miles per hour.
Pieced.
87 miles per hour.
Pieced. Which of the 2 do you like better and why?
I like this one better. 1, I can feel the end load a bit more in this one than compared to the 3. And 2, it jumps off a lot better. I think this one's a bit more forgiving, but overall performance, I think this one's better.
Cool.
86 miles per hour.
86 knuckler.
89 miles per hour.
89 knuckler.
89 knuckler, and you ate them up.
And
84 miles per hour.
one hop the big part of the field.
You know the question though.
Oh, my fault.
Which one do you like better and why?
So I like the 3 better. I'll be the only different one, I guess. But I'm a longer barrel guy. I like a 13-inch barrel, and I feel like I'm more in control with this end load as well. So that'll be my only reason I like the 3 better. But the 2 is just as good for sure.
Sweet.
96 miles per hour.
Well, there's our next swing way over the trees. I think hitting the top of the back tree. The sweet spots on both of them are amazing, that's for sure. Right now, I gotta say both have great forgiveness. You just get more of a stiffer crack feel forgiveness with the 2, whereas the 3, with the longer barrel, the further from the sweet spot, gets a little bit softer. But as far as the ball and performance, it hasn't mattered at all.
97 miles per hour.
Well, there's over our trees again.
98 miles per hour.
Wall banger. And that's gonna do it for NDM2. So again, you saw some swings of mine in the very beginning. Kind of cycled through everybody like we talked about. Knocked out the 3 and 2 here. We're gonna go ahead and let these sit for a minute. Go pick up these balls. We'll come back, test them, see kind of where they're at. Again, with that game ready tech, realistically, should have only BP'd them with 52s if you were gonna no kidding use them. Or I'm gonna tell you from the way they felt, neither one needed any BP at all anyways. But let's see where that test or that compression test is at. We'll come back with final thoughts. All right, first up, our NDM3. Again, both of these have just over 50, well, no, actually right at 50 swings, because we limit everybody to 10 swings per person. So at 50 swings on a game ready tech, let's see what that does for us here on these Pier models. And let that sit. Man, and there you have it. Still 255 on the NDM3. I think that's pretty much where it was at. So the nice part about their game ready tech is, Piers talked about this too, they've figured kind of the compression side out to where you can have a bat that's game ready, which I agree it was 100% game ready out of the wrapper, and still be able to put some BP on it, make sure you're comfortable with it, and then game it for a while without it failing. In our NDM2, same thing really. I mean, neither one moved really at all. 265, maybe 270. You can decipher however you want. But either way, no issues with compression on either one. Again, 50 all Pro M swings as well from us. So you can go ahead and BP these. Obviously, don't do a ton of BP on them. If you want to do a lot of BP, I would recommend 52s. But we'll talk about it more in the final thoughts. All right, we're swings and final compression complete here with the NDM2 and the NDM3. As mentioned before, the NDM3 is your 13-inch barrel. NDM2 is your 12-inch barrel. We went with 26-ounce, 1-ounce end loads. On Pier's website, you can decide what end load you want, pick the weight you want. Pretty nice about that, so you can go with the exact specs that you may want in a bat. With these as well, they have the tackier barrel, which I personally really like the tacky barrels. I don't know that it really makes a difference, but I just seem to hit better with a lot of the barrels that aren't that kind of real slick paint job. Maybe it's just a head thing or it just seems that way, but either way, do prefer kind of these tackier barrels on these as well. What I really noticed with these ones were what we've really swung from Pier this year have been the Lambrite, the Irvine, CE, Roofx, ones that needed that break in Pier. I know with like the Lambrite, it felt great, and then we hit like 200 swings, it got amazing, and then we hit even like 400 swing mark, and that's when it just absolutely opened up and was absolutely fire. With these ones, they felt almost just like that, but straight out of the wrapper. Now, I do think the sweet spot on like the Irvine, those other ones we talked about, the Lambrite, so on and so forth, might have been a little bit better and crisper, but it makes sense based on the fact they had that stiffer barrel, took the break in time. But I'd have zero issue pulling one of these straight out of the wrapper, gaming it, and then based on what we saw with the compression, you can also come out, BP it. I guarantee we could have went to that 100 swing mark and still had no issues, and then game these things forever. And so that's what's really nice about them. The NDM2 is definitely the crisper barrel with that 12-inch. Both sweet spots felt pretty much the same. But with the 2, when you missed that sweet spot, you definitely still had a stiffer feel. You got good feedback in the hands. You knew exactly where you caught it. And then with NDM3, you still got the really good feedback, but as you got further away from the sweet spot, it felt a little bit softer, which makes sense on the longer barrels. So just something to keep in mind. For me and for Andrew, we both kind of preferred the NDM3, just slightly though. I mean, there was no defining like, hey, I would have to swing the 3 over the 2. I honestly would swing either one, but the 3 just felt a little bit better for me. And then for Mike, Tooney, and Keith, they preferred the NDM2, but same kind of thing. It just, to them, it felt a little easier to get around, slightly better off the sweet spot. But they just kind of said the same thing. If you put an NDM3 in their hands and said that's the one they had to swing, they'd have no issue swinging that one either. So for both these, you can hop over to Pier Sports website. Down in the description of the video, there's a link and a code for you with my buddy Emilio Lovato's code. That'll help get you an additional discount on the sale they're already having. As of shooting this video, today's December 13th. These are currently on sale, I believe, for like $239.99, and the code will work to lower that price even further. So if you've been looking for a bat, especially because these have had good durability. Again, by the time we got done swinging them tonight, it's about 50 degrees. So, I mean, they've held up just fine. Obviously, it's not super cold, but something you can definitely BP for a while. And even if you're not going to game them, you just want a BP bat, even though they're game ready, you still have something that, to me, seems pretty durable. Even in the black portion of the paint, I don't see any webs yet. So, something that you could definitely keep in mind for that piece of it if you didn't want to go out and grab like the Irvine, CE, Lambrite, whatever it is that kind of starts that higher compression, requires the break-in period. So hopefully it's helped you decide if these are going to be one of the bats you want to pick up next, or if you've kind of been bouncing between like the NDM2 or 3 versus maybe the Irvine CE, and you just got done watching those videos as well. Help you make a decision on which one to choose. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out, let us know. AverageUseSlowPitch.com. You can drop a comment. We'll try to do our best to get back to you. But either way, thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for the support. Have a great night.